Alright, cutting wood with a compound miter saw. You may not start out with a compound miter saw, but if you go to rent one or you're doing a large project like studding a bunch of walls, you're going to want something like this. It rips wood very quickly and it's a lot better than using a handsaw or a circular saw. You see on this one, you'll see that there is a laser light on this. You may not have one, but I'll show you how to use it without a laser light. Compound miter saw, basically the compound part of it is so that if you're doing angle cuts, you can angle it so that it'll do different angles for you, such as that, and it'll do an angle. But for right now, we're just doing a straight cut, and I'm going to show you how to do a straight cut evenly and quickly with a compound miter saw here. So the first thing we want to do is make sure you've got the right kind of blade on there. For cutting a basic stud, this is fine. This is more of a fine tooth blade. You'd also use this for trim work or something like that. Now if you're doing rough lumber like pressure treated or something, you'd want more of a rip blade. It has less teeth in it. But for our project right now, this will be fine. First thing you want to do is take your measurement and just make a little tick. Always measure on the side and make your mark on the side of the lumber. If you do it in the middle, you may not be exactly where you want it. So make it on the side. And then you take a speed square. You can pick these up for a couple bucks at the store. It's a pretty handy little tool. You just take the speed square and place it right where your mark would be, and then take your pencil and then just go straight across. Alright, and then when we go to make our cut, what you want to remember is the blade is 1/8 inch wide. So if you're going to be using this part of the stock, you need to know that you're going to be 1/8 inch shorter than you were after you make the cut. So basically, if you have a laser light, the laser light basically goes right on your line and you'll be perfect. If you don't have a laser light, just simply before you turn the saw on, bring it down and place the blade teeth just so they're on the outside of the line, on the side of the wood that you're not going to use. A big mistake people use is they very quickly make the cut and figure out they put the blade on the wrong side, and then they're 1/8 inch short of what they really wanted to be. So we put our blade down on the outside of our cut, and all we're going to do is make sure we're going to hold the wood steady, make sure it's straight, and we're going to cut. And make sure when you're cutting that you hold the trigger down all the way through the cut. If you stop, you can jam it up and it could kick back on you. You don't want to do that. So now we have a perfect straight cut with a compound miter saw. Listen later for other cuts with a circular saw.